There we go. We have people on Zoom as well, so if they have to show up in person, we tell them Zoom's optional. So they're definitely on. They're definitely here to worship. So, hello everybody, welcome back to another Wealth Management Advisory Club meeting. Today we have Celeste Leon from KPMG. She's going to read a little bit about her. Not yet until we kind of read the intro. You guys are excited. So she graduated from Monmouth University, William Hess Business School with a summer called Laude in 2019 with a major in accounting and minor in information technology. She interned with Santander Bank, Tomorrow's Financial Services, BF Corporation, and Geller Company. She founded her own company, I Am Community, a self-development community of women made up of 8-week sessions filled with education, mindset discussions, and sisterhood. She's currently working at KPMG, where she started as an audit associate, then as senior audit associate, and now as KPMG's American Sales Enablement lead. She's passionate about community building, mental health, and inspiring those around her by creating thought-provoking content.
What is that? It's just a meeting that I have to do.
Sorry about that. Where was I? Articles of coaching. She describes herself as an enthusiastic, curious, and driven woman. Recently, she passed the CPA exam as maturity author in today's Inspired Young Latina. Fun fact about Celeste that she lived in 4 countries, including Canada, Peru, England, and the United States, and she's a fluent Spanish speaker. So with that, Celeste, for you guys, if you're on Zoom, please turn your cameras on and please ask questions. And Celeste, the floor is yours.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Share my screen, but first of all, how are you guys feeling?
Great.
How was your day?
It's all right.
Busy? How's the semester?
Good. Just got elementary, so
Good, good. All right. Share my screen. Share. Let's see. Yep. Awesome. Work with what we have. All right, guys. So thank you for that beautiful introduction, Jack. I'm excited to be here, and let's just make this a conversation. You know, since we're a small group, I'll tell you a little bit about my experiences, and anytime I'm sharing something, I've done a lot of stuff. Stop me, ask me questions that interest you. You know, I know it seems like you guys all have different backgrounds, which is awesome. So let's get started. First thing I would ask is that if you guys please use this QR code to check in. This will put you in our newsletter at KPMG. So if you're interested in our future internship or seeing what's available in upcoming events or anything like that, please check in. I'll wait a couple minutes there. Super easy. Perfect. So I work now for a company called KPMG. For those who don't know, it's one of the big accounting firms. We have offices all over the world. I'm actually going to India next month to our India office, and I'm really excited. So I right out of college, I majored in accounting. I studied abroad in London, which was an amazing experience. You know, I definitely recommend do you have study abroad programs?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, with the pandemic, I'm sure no one wanted to travel, right? But now, if it's possible, you know, totally recommend that. And right out of college, I joined KPMG as an audit associate. So I was auditing hedge funds and private equity firms in New York City, focused on financial services. That was the realm I was doing. And then I was promoted to senior, which takes about 2 years. And I began a new position this January. Now, one of the reasons why I chose KPMG to work at, it's because of its global footprint. For me, you have to start thinking now, like, what are the top things that I want from my employer? And you have to reflect on like your own goals, right? Like I see myself going here. I wanna develop this kind of skill. And one of the things that called my attention, because I had multiple offers from different types of accounting firms by the time I graduated. Hopefully, you all have different types of offers as well, right? That's what you should strive for. Never just apply to one place, apply to multiple. Is that okay? I got an offer from a small firm versus a firm like KPMG, which is huge, right? There's offices all over the U.S. in the world. For me, one of my top priorities was that the company was investing in my self-development. Like, I want to keep growing every year. Will they be investing in me outside of just like specific work-related stuff that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis? And also, I personally was interested in opportunities, like international opportunities, global opportunities, anything that could put me out of my comfort zone, maybe like sending me to another state for a little while, traveling for a little bit, which KPMG does do that. So I was like, okay, I know I want that, so I'm going to choose KPMG because they have the most likely chance of opportunity that I can get to do that. So after I did 2 years in audit, I was like, I want to try something new. I learned this, I mastered this, right? I would say no matter what job you do after college, it's going to take you about 1 year for you to get used to it and finally get to a point where you're like, I got this. The first 3 months are always, it's going to be a roller coaster of learning people, right? Because you're going to get to your senior year of college, you're going to be, everyone, you made it, you're crushing it, right? You feel like you're on top of the world. Or think about high school, right? From being a freshman in high school to the feeling you get to being a senior in high school, then you start freshman year in college, and it's different. The same thing is going to happen to you once you start your full-time job. So now that I made it to 2 years plus, I knew I wanted to change. I wanted to develop different skills. Something that people, like our parents' guides, would tell us, right? A big advice that they would tell us is choose a job and do that for the next 20 years. Like, you need to know what you want, you need to pick it, and you need to stay there as long as possible. I think now, with how much technology has evolved and everything all the new jobs that are in the market that are new, like, that's no longer, for me, the best advice. I would say, unless you generally have found that specific career path that calls your attention the most, and you're like, I love this is it, like, I'm staying here, I'm gonna do this. I really encourage you to explore in your early 20s with different options. Because, for instance, when I told my manager, hey, I'm gonna go try this new position, she's been doing the exact same thing for the past 20 years, and her response was, wow, like, yes, go do it. I wish I could do that too, but now I can't. I don't have that opportunity anymore because I'm too deep into this career. And pretty much I switched to our consulting department at KPMG, now doing international sales, and I work with our member firms all over the Americas. I get to meet people from all over the world, and that's how I'm getting to go to India. So that's a little bit about my background at KPMG, and I go to lots of conferences as well. We have facility in Florida, Orlando. So if you guys join KPMG, they will be sending you guys to Orlando for any types of trainings or big events, which is really cool. So I was thinking what you guys may want to hear about, right? And navigating your early 20s, right? That's where you're all at. And I'm gonna go through a little bit more of my college journey. Then I want to talk about investing in yourself, because that's what your early 20s are all about. And lastly, I want to talk to you about the power of building your personal brand, because that's something I've been doing that has really accelerated my career and puts me ahead of my peers in so many ways. So I think that's really, really important. So during my college journey, A little bit of background about me is that I was born in Peru too, and I moved to the US when I was 13 years old. I didn't speak English. So for a long time, I felt like I was behind. I didn't have necessarily the mentors that I needed. But when I got to college, one thing that I was really secure about was that as a freshman, I was asking myself, like, what do I need to do so that by the time I graduate college, I walk out of here with not one job offer, but many, right? What do I need to do? And I began, sometimes life is just about asking the right questions and you figuring that out along the way, right? Okay, I know I want to get here, so what do I need to do to get there, right? So I interned in, I majored in accounting, but my 3 internships were all completely different. And my full-time job was also completely different. So my first internship was with Tomorrow's Financial Services, which was more like a wealth management company. My second internship was with VF Corporation, which, do you guys know, like Nautica, Timberland, Vans, they own all those brands. I was an inventory accounting intern in Jersey City for a summer. And then my third internship was at this company called Gellers, which I was doing international tax work, and Bloomberg was one of my biggest clients. So as you see, like they're all completely different. And then I ended up in audit as my first job. So just starting there, I encourage you all to try different internships. When you're finally ready to apply for a full-time position, companies like that you have experience and that you've been willing to put yourself outside of the box. And that, you know, sometimes you gotta try things to know this is what I don't want in order to find what you do like. Just like you guys, I joined many organizations that help me network, right? Network is incredibly important. Keep doing that. I studied abroad in London. And something that I did as well after I graduated was that I passed all the CPA exams in a year. I know you mentioned you're possibly interested in that. Any of you interested in that or any other exam?
Yes, I had a question. So KPMG, right? If for one of the projects you're working there, does it need to have aspirations to get your CPA?
Depends what position.
Okay.
So if you get hired for audit or for tax, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
What other
Because
positions are there?
the main thing that they're gonna look at is that if you have the credit requirements. Because to do the CPA exam, you need 150 credits in New Jersey. And usually a 4-year degree gets you to 120 on average, maybe 130. So they wanna know like, hey, do you have like a plan on how you're gonna get to the 150? But actually, something that KPMG is doing now is that they pay you to pass the CPA exam. So I got a 5K bonus when I passed all the exams, which was wonderful. Another thing is they pay for all your study materials. Because the study materials are expensive, could be a few grand, depending with what company you go with. KPMG paid for all of that. And now they're doing even more incentives. So when you're looking for what company you want, make sure like you look into that, right? If that's a goal of yours, or any other type of exam that you're doing. Are you interested in doing any exam that you know? No, okay. Anyone here on Zoom that wants to share what they're interested in, or?
Don't be shy, guys, it's a fight.
What about you, Jack? You want to take your CPA?
I'm actually planning on taking my CMA exam, my senior year of college, and then my CPA exam, my master's degree here at FS22. So get certified. I think one of our board members, I think can be on the call, I think, which is Gloria, who actually is planning on taking her CPA actually as well. So we do have at least 2 accounting majors in this call that actually are guaranteed to go into the CPA route.
I'm planning on taking my SIE senior year,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm on Series 7 right now.
Okay, good. I would totally recommend you guys do it like right after college, because there's people that do wait, but once you start making money and you start living that good life, and you're working so much, you're like, wait, now my free time, I have to go and study. It's a lot harder. And now you're already in that momentum, right? So I have an article on how to pass the CPA exam if anybody is interested. I can share it to you, you can share it with your members, where I explained my game plan. You know, it took me about a year. You really need to be extremely dedicated. I compared each CPA exam, like if it's 3 to 4 final exams combined. Like it's no joke, right? You can't just study it in a week or two. So there's a little bit of that. Any questions before I go to the next thing? Here that you guys have. Okay. So let's talk about a little bit investing in yourself and some of the things that I see with young professionals that perhaps they're not the best at, that I really want to give you guys advice on, that you should be building no matter what career path you do. Right? One is your personal development, which includes both personal and professional, right? Like whatever exams you need to take, get into where you want to be in order to be successful practically, right? But your personal development also is about how do you communicate? Like, can you be in front of clients one day and do a presentation? When, right, like, can you talk to people? Do you, are you emotionally intelligent? Do you guys know what that is, being emotionally intelligent? Have you guys heard of that word before? Yeah.
Yes, I have actually. Funny enough, I think the PhD program actually held a webinar about that. That was so long ago. It was like my freshman year of college. I don't know what I forgot what emotional intelligence is.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So let's talk about it. So first, emotional intelligence is about knowing how to control your emotions, knowing how to understand where somebody else may be at emotionally. It's about managing conflict. It's about communicating effectively, and it's about resolving situations, right? Because for instance, let's say you jump on a meeting with a client, and actually that day the client found out that they lost a really big deal. So they're extremely agitated and they're being a bit rude, right? And how do you handle that, right? How do you communicate? How do you take maybe some disrespect? Or, I mean, that's not very common, but just knowing how to manage people, tell them what to do, right? Not letting them walk over you. Standing up if you see something wrong. Just like, it's about like how you act, how you speak. And oftentimes, like, there's times where people start full-time jobs and they're not even that great at writing like detailed emails, which is like the most basic things. Have you guys heard about that? Like, right? Is that something that you think about, like communication, what to expectation setting, right? So really, I would say, you know, look that up, watch some videos on that, self-reflect. Know, like, when you start working, people are gonna be like, who are you? Tell me about you right now in 30 seconds. Introduce yourself literally every single day to new people, right? Do you have your like pitch where you could be like, oh, sure, no problem. This is who I am, this is what I do, right? Like being able to comfortably speak and be yourself, no matter what room they put you in, is really, really important. And then number 2 is, you know, you're all getting a college degree, you're all investing in yourself now that I see, right? Like, develop a financial plan, start asking questions. Like, I see a lot of people afraid to talk about money, but we can't, we need to talk about it, right? We need to talk about it because I need to make sure that if we're doing the same role, girl, we're getting hired at the same time. I want to make sure that you and I are getting paid the same, or am I getting underpaid? Or are you getting underpaid, or compared to someone else, or when raises come, right? Knowing how to ask for what you deserve. Another thing, right? Making sure you're asking, does your company offer a 401k? Do you guys know what that is? No. What is it?
This is sort of like an investment plan. I'm not a retirement plan where they'll match up to a certain percent.
Yes, exactly. So companies just usually offer a 401k, which is a retirement plan. And most of the time they'll match money. So if you put in 5%, they'll give you a 5% match. So that's like free money. You should absolutely take advantage of that. And think about, what do you want to do with your money the first 5 years? If your parents are still helping you, that's an amazing time to save. And think about, maybe different ways to make money with the money that you're making from your full-time job. Do you want to invest in real estate? Do you want to invest more heavily in the stock market? Personally, I've been saving to buy a home. That I'm finally ready to do that. I'm currently in the process, even though the interest rates are super high, and I'm 25 years old, and you can all do it as well. But it's all about being intentional, continuously learning where to put your money, making sure credit, right? All of that, that's what your early 20s are all about. Your transition into adulthood. Any questions there about investing in your personal development, financial planning for yourself? No? Okay. Let's continue. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys is about the power of your personal brand. When I was in college, so even though I am very happy with everything I've achieved so far, I'm one of the top performers on my company and many things that I do, I was a big party girl. Big party girl in college, okay guys? But what was really cool about me was that I would get literally A's, crush my exams, study when I needed to during the week, but on the weekends I had my fun. I was able to balance both. But at the same time, I was really ambitious and I really wanted to succeed in school, right? However, on my Instagram, all I was posting was me partying, right? That's all me partying, me having fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But then I realized, damn, I'm building my personal brand on social media where everyone that knows me can see that all I'm doing is posting me partying. So I was like, what kind of image am I showing? Because right, like what I'm posting, that's pretty much like in other people's eyes, that's my priority in life, right? Because if I'm posting about is partying, people are gonna be like, all she cares about is partying. Whatever you're posting, like it's fine, right? But I just wanna, I had a shift pretty much my junior to senior year of like, wait, I'm actually passionate about so many other things in life, and I wanna be able to develop a strong personal brand around my career and this and that I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna do, like, I'm gonna end how I was viewing social media and begin sharing my thoughts, begin sharing my experiences in school, at work, my accomplishments, my reflections, anything that I learned that could help others, I'm gonna start doing that. So my senior year, I began posting more long format posts on Instagram, pretty much talking to people like, hey, this is me, I'm changing, I'm growing, I wanna share this with you guys. And I began consistently posting. Also started posting on LinkedIn. I know you're amazing at social media, by the way. Good job, Jack. I'm not sure, I don't know anyone else, so I'm not sure if you're all like that, but I would say LinkedIn is huge for professional development, right? Like that's how you invited me.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you probably find so many people to come to
Absolutely.
through LinkedIn, right? So now I have more than 10,000 followers through my social medias, and that's not even my full-time job. Like I do that on the side, right? But like you guys have no idea how many opportunities have come my way at such a young age because of the power of my personal brand. Because your personal brand is pretty much like who you are, what you believe in, right? Like what you stand up for, what you talk about, how you treat people, all of that. Now, maybe you volunteer every weekend to an organization. That's part of your personal brand. That's part of what you do, what you like. However, there's so many people out there that are so talented, that do so many incredible things, but yet they never share it. They never share it, so no one knows. And they may be so talented at photography, at sport, there's so many things, but they never share it Therefore, they never get recognized. Therefore, people no one asks for their help. Therefore, they're not called when there are big events for those specific issues, right? So you guys are still so young and you have a bright future ahead. And I just wanna let you know that if there's anything that's really important to you in your career, anytime you have a big achievement, anytime you wanna make an impact wherever in whatever you're doing, share that. There's nothing wrong about building your personal brand if you're doing it with good intentions.
Yes, I know you're talking about Instagram and everything. So you said like it's a good way to develop yourself. Would you suggest, so my account's like private, as most of my accounts, would you suggest turn that to public so that people could see, or is private a better way to do it?
So I would say it depends on what you're posting,
Okay.
right? If right now, what are you posting? What do you post about?
It's just like, I don't really post that much, but probably my sports.
Sports, okay, that's good. That's not bad.
So if I was private, would people see that and think, oh, this guy's probably posting some bad things, or is it more just?
Not necessarily, I would say. However, I think that recruiters nowadays look up every single candidate on social media. Like that's the norm now. So it's not that you need to become, I'm not trying to tell you guys you become the next content creators and like, oh, post every single day. If that's not what you're interested in, that's not what I'm saying. However, you should develop your profile and make it professional. Like your profile should be strong so that if anybody looks you up, I know what you look like in like a professional photo, right? Like what's your name? What do you do? Like what did you do? What's your experience? Right? So maybe I'm not saying post every day, but maybe post a couple times a year, you know, like if you graduated college, if you got an internship, if you you finish your sports season, you volunteer at a non-for-profit, like all of that, right? It's kind of like sharing your resume in real life. That people are gonna look at and be like, wow, like that's amazing, right? So I truly, another story, literally today. So someone at KPMG has more than 30,000 employees, okay? And someone randomly emails me today and they're like, hi Celeste, like how are you? This person introduced me to you. And something I do outside of KPMG that I started doing in 2020 is stand-up comedy. And now I'm actually building up shows. I'm starting to do it more. And I want to build my personal brand, but I don't know how to go about it. And this person told me to reach out to you. So I'm like, okay, let's jump on a call and talk about it. And I was like, who told you about me? And she's like, person X. I don't even know this person, but this person knows me because of LinkedIn, because I share a little bit consistently on LinkedIn. And that has happened to me so many times where people know me and I don't know them. And as a young professional at a huge company like that, it's insane. Because I've also gone to events where executives of the company, they're like, I've seen you on LinkedIn. And I've never met them officially, right? So that's like really insane, right? Think about standing out. So let's talk about the benefits real quick that I have listed here, right? Increases your visibility and reputation. Now, your personal brand, I'm talking a lot about online social media, but it's also the things that you do in person, right? Because if you're in a meeting, make sure you're standing up, guys. I do not want you to be those first year employees that you're joining calls and you do not speak. You need to speak, you need to always ask questions. That's about building your personal brand. You matter, your voice matters, right? And if you're doing that on social media the right way, this increases your visibility and reputation. People are recommending me that don't even know me because of my strong reputation, right? Like that's amazing. And I think that's kind of how you found me, right? Like you were like, look, I found her. Like that's crazy, right? It's amazing. Number 2, builds your credibility, right? Let's say you're going into accounting. Let's say you go into finance. Let's say you want to become a financial planner, right? But all you're posting is about sports. There needs to be a balance there because I I want everyone in your network to know that you're a financial planner. So that when I think one day I'm at a networking event and somebody else tells me, hey, I'm looking for a financial planner. Do you know anyone? You better come to my mind right away, right? Because that's what you want to build, right? So this is about also building credibility. Whatever you want to achieve, you need to talk about so people can recommend you. People do not know what you do not share, right? People do not know what you do not share. Building credibility, building credibility. Always talk about what's important to you, where you want to go, so that people, when that opportunity comes, your name's going to come to my mind. Number 3, creates a competitive advantage. So here's something else. So another story on my company. They started this little group called Emerging Leaders Series on my company, where they're inviting young professionals, both of the company and our clients. So really open to anyone. And they invite speakers to come to this to talk about building your personal brand, professional advice, professional development, just anything that can help anything in your career, topics like that. And at 24, they invited me to come speak at their Emerging Leader Series that are usually for managers and above. Usually that means like 28 and above, right? Like my audience is so much older than me. Because I consistently post on LinkedIn, and I have already built a reputation of like, I know how to build a personal brand and I can talk about it, right? So now I have a competitive advantage against all of my peers, and even peers that are older than me, because since I've been building my personal brand, people are coming to me and asking me to do things that are amazing, and it's gonna look amazing on my resume, right? So I'm always standing out because of what I do, naturally. And number 4, which is one of my biggest passions about building your personal brand online or in person, right? Always using the power of your voice, getting involved in initiatives, is that this allows you to build community, you know, and that's why I started doing it in the first place. When you begin sharing about what you care about or any type of nonprofit work, you're going to attract like-minded people. People that care about the same, you're gonna repel people that are like, I truly do not care about this, and you're gonna attract others. As you begin growing and the years go by, people love you, and people that resonate with the messages that you share become your biggest fans and advocates and supporters, and then you're there for them. And I have so many like online friends, right? And the communities I've been able to build are amazing. So how are we doing on time?
We're gonna go.
Okay. And once you have a community, guys, you could do anything you desire in this world. You can start any business. You can start any initiative. And that's how I started my first company, which was about empowering women. And I was making money on the side and doing literally what I love to do, that I would do for free anyways. So a little bit about that. Do you guys have any questions about building your personal brand or any fears, honestly? Because I think most people are very fearful, if anything, about doing this.
Anyone on Zoom have any questions?
Good. So tell me, huh?
You explained it very well, so.
Yes?
Yes.
Good. Jack, I want to hear about you. How did you start, like, how did you see the value of building your personal brand, and how come, like, you do it so much?
I get that question asked every day over years. You know, it actually started out because I believe my mother, who was actually a guidance counselor in my high school, I went to, she always told me, you know, just watch what you're posting there, because people, you know, administration people, they always look at stuff, they always look at your social media pages to make sure that, you know, you're posting the right stuff, not anything inappropriate. And it really came to me like when I came in freshman in my year, starting a clean slate, restart my Facebook page, restart my Instagram page, and then just post stuff, have a balance, like, you know, my personal interest and also balance most of my business interests, like accounting and finance and, you know, marketing as well. So I kind of think a good balance there.
That's right. And tell me about the value that you think you're getting. What's your ROI? Who knows what ROI is?
Return on investment.
Okay, good job.
Honestly, I think my ROI is pretty good. You know, I have a bunch of interests and I'm learning a lot of new stuff in accounting every single day of my life. So, you know, I think it's just my ROI is just keep going up.
Mhm. Good. I'm so happy to hear that. It's amazing that you're doing now. It makes you stand out like crazy, so.
I suggest all our members to do that as well.
Yes. And last thing that I'm working on, just to share with you guys, is I'm actually working on launching a podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, so let me see if I can show you that. Right now, I'm recording the first few episodes, learning about the tag behind it. And I am a disruptor, pretty much at my company, because think about like the biggest creators that you see on social media right now. Who are they? What do they do?
Because I would say entertain.
Really?
Okay,
Well, he
What is
used
real
to be, he used to be before he got.
real estate, but then also I feel like when I look at the younger generation of creators, it's people who dropped out of school. It's people who are doing like multi-level marketing. It's people who are doing lifestyle and makeup. It's people who are doing fashion. And that's beautiful, that's awesome, we want those people, but then we need creators like us too, guys. We need to represent like our industries, right? Like the finance, the accounting, like where is there representation on social media for that? There's none. What about companies like us, right? If you guys are interested in working at companies like us, wouldn't it be cool to see representation online of like what that can look like? Or even people that work at Amazon or Google, or just like more of like the professional world, right? So when I encourage my peers at work too, I'm like, keep doing it. Like I share that message of like, we are creating representation for people like us when we're using our voices, which we need more of. And I was gonna show you guys so you guys can tell me your opinion. This is my cover, my podcast cover. Let's see what you guys think. These are my options.
Sorry for everyone on Instagram or but you cannot see this right now, but I definitely will leave. When it does go live, I will definitely put something on our speaker pages. I definitely will. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Really did you do that for WMA? We know where you play speakers to come in and do, like, we're doing here now, have a memorial for them, just as a suggestion.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is, and honestly, this is your time to experiment, honestly, in college, because you still, you know, you don't have any like liability issues. But that's pretty much wraps up my presentation for now. Connect with me on social media, guys. Connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my email. If you ever want to reach out to me and talk one-on-one, ask some more questions, I'm happy to help you guys. And if you have any other questions.
I have no question, actually. I know most of our members are shy to ask this question. Are there any internship opportunities in accounting or anything really like, anything really at KPMG, any internship opportunities for this spring 2023, summer 2023?
Yes, there are. For spring, it may be a little late, but there may be for summer. I would say, guys, if you're interested in an internship opportunity, I hope you check in to today's to the QR code I gave, and then what we will do is whoever's checked in there will reach out to you later on and share links or where you can apply. My recruiter will do that. She's the one that will reach out to you guys and let you know like the deadlines, when to apply, what are the opportunities. But there's always opportunities available at KPMG for sure.
What advice would you give to yourself? You look back like 10 years from now. What advice would you give to yourself, to your younger self?
In college?
Yeah.
So I would tell myself to keep taking advantage of literally every single opportunity presented and learning opportunity and networking opportunity. The more people you know, and especially as a college student, so many people want to help you, it's like great. That that would only help you. And all those learning opportunities, it's about building your resume, more stories to talk about. Anytime you do something cool, write it down in a notepad, because when you're interviewing for a job, they want to hear stories from you, right? Like if you put down, I interned here, or I was a member of this club, or I was on the e-board in this club, then the things that they're gonna ask you is gonna be, tell me about your experience, or what did you do, or what did you learn the most, or how did you impact your campus? And you need to have those answers like this. Oh yeah, absolutely, this is what I did. Let me tell you a story actually of how this happened. Boom, super, super, super impactful, right? Having those things, I remember when I was getting ready for the interviewing process, oh my God, it was such a headache. It was so terrifying. And ultimately, I realized, oh, this is all about just putting stories together that I can answer when they're telling me questions that describes the type of person that I am, how hard I work, how I made an impact, the skills that I learned. So the more you can grow your pool of stories and experiences, the more you stand out, the more you're memorable to that interviewer that is interviewing like hundreds of people like you, right? So that would be my best advice.
That's a question about your podcast. That's really interesting. How that get started? Did you just record it and kind of upload it? Or you gotta contact people or get paid for something? How did that work?
So the way we're gonna start it is through seasons because of that learning curve.
Okay.
My first season, I'm not gonna focus on money. I just wanna build it. I wanna develop a consistent process because I know for podcasting, like you need to tell your audience, oh, I'm gonna be posting once a week or every 2 weeks, whatever it is, you need to be consistent. And yeah, right now, for instance, on Friday, tomorrow, I have a virtual interview with this like amazing woman that I admire from Cali. On Monday, I had an in-person interview with this guy that has like a media corporation. And I wanna interview people, learn their success stories and give tips to younger people, right, that can learn from that. And really also tackle what success really means. Because I think here in America, we're sold on this idea that financial success is like your go-to. And once you have that, you'll be happy and fulfilled, and like that's all you need to worry about. And obviously, that's a huge goal. We should all be working towards being successful, financially successful, but that's not everything. You need to take care of your mental health, you need to take care of your physical health, you need to find different hobbies that are gonna fulfill you. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket and be like, this is gonna be it, right? Like, there's more than that. And then also thinking about like, what skills do they need to be at where they are? I want to talk about everything, like spirituality, work, personal branding, all of that. And then, so I'm gonna do about 2 months, I think, consistently, call it season 1, and then kind of stop there and say, okay, how did I perform? Like, how many downloads did I get? How did I do with my marketing? What is the feedback that people are telling me? Also getting more comfortable, like myself speaking. I'm very comfortable speaking to you guys, but because I was so excited about the podcast, my first interview, I have never said so many so I was definitely nervous, right? So I'm like, okay, I need to get better at that, so going through a little, I think that the hardest part has been the tech, learning all the tech. The mics, I bought like 2 awesome mics. I had to buy these interfaces, and it's Scarlett, they're called, which is like connecting the mic to this thing that then connects here. And then if I want to use my camera, how do I connect that? And my audio and my video, where am I going to upload it? How do I put it together? I think that
It's a lot of work.
yes, I've been hustling.
So that's another question. So anyone else, you want to?
Does anyone have too many questions? I know we have a couple people in there that want to ask
Hey, I
questions.
have a question. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hi. Firstly, thanks for coming in. I really enjoyed your presentation. I think the slide about personal brand was really refreshing. Not too many speakers really talk about that, so definitely appreciate that. But yeah, this is kind of a fun question. So you mentioned a lot, like through your internship where you did wealth management, financial planning. You even use some like financial terminology. If you can go back in time, or possibly even moving forward, would you kind of transition into a more finance-based role, or are you content in your like accounting field?
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. So right now I'm actually in sales. I'm no longer doing accounting. I'm doing consulting, selling technology for KPMG. So it's completely different. And I remember when I was in college, I was really trying to get hired to do financial planning. That was like one of my other huge options that I was going to do. But I don't necessarily regret it or would change it because I still think I'm really young and I can do anything that I want. So, guys, like, so I know you feel like you need to have it all figured out and you need to know, like, I need to find my passion, like, that needs to be my first job. But really, your first job just gets you in the door. That gives you so much power later on to truly do what you want. For me, I love traveling and I wanted to do this international role so that I can meet people from all over the world. I also speak Spanish. I wanted to speak more Spanish at work. I wanted to have international opportunities to travel. Like that's what I wanted and I got it. Now I have audit experience in accounting. I'm gonna have sales experience where I'm presenting so much more in this role. I am building my pool of skills that if I want to go into finance, I can do it. Like I have no doubt in myself. And the things, you know, I have my undergrad degree. I did the CPA exam. It's all about building. Your first 5 years, just focus. You know, get your first job, do it well. After a year or two, if you see you want to try something new, do it. Like do it.
It's worth the risk, you said, even like given if you have an amazing opportunity in 2 years, you want to try something else, and if you do that, you're kind of losing an original opportunity. You think it's worth the risk?
I think it depends on your goals, yes.
Okay.
Because after a year or two, guys, you will know if you like it or you hate it. Or if you're like, okay, I kind of like it, but to be honest, I feel stagnant, like I want to try something new. Like I just do, right? And you can. Like I know that my audit team will literally take me back with their arms open. Like they're like, please, if you want to come back, like, you know. So I'm just like, I have that.
So having the security before
Having,
you know
yeah.
is the best side. Okay.
I think, but the biggest advice, obviously, that I would tell you is no matter what job you do, like treat people well, treat people always with respect, always leave with kindness, never treat people bad, no matter where you go, and work hard. Work hard, like learn what you need to learn at that job, so that when you walk away, you have skills under your belt, and you feel confident in your abilities to perform them. What's up, Abby?
No, it's not that, I'm just looking at my email. I think we do have a question on the Zoom light thing. I don't know if
Does that answer your question, Kevin?
Yeah, it does. Actually, I apologize. I thought you were a part of maybe the more accounting side of the firm, but I think
was.
yeah,
But
yeah, I think sales is awesome. I'm kind of heading towards the same direction. I'm a finance major, so but under the category of like sales and trading, I'm more so leaning towards the trading side of it, but sales is also really interesting.
good. Awesome.
Sales seems like you get a lot of cool opportunities to do a lot of things to build places, right? So I know like vendors and go to like sports games. Have you ever had a lot of opportunities to do anything like that?
Well, because of COVID,
Oh,
you know, a lot of that stopped, but now it's picking up again. We do get emails like, oh, we have extra tickets for games, or things like that.
Actually, I have one more question too. I'm sorry.
Sure, Kevin.
So a lot of like sales position roles for finance, like selling like insurance, doing like wealth management, a big part of it is networking. So, and it seems like what you mentioned throughout the presentation, it's like a really big thing too to yourself. Do you have any like networking tips, perhaps?
Yes, so I would say number one, build your personal brand. Number
I guess
two,
interpersonal like networking tips.
yeah, no, of course. intentional and have a goal, right? Because there's so many people in the world, but at the same time, you're not trying to be friends with literally everyone, right? You want to attract certain kind of people, like you want to build your community, your pool of people that they may not be your clients, but maybe they can refer you one day, or they can also be your clients. So I would say, reach out, like don't be afraid to, for instance, be like, okay, this week I want to connect with 5 people, like genuinely, right? So every single week, have a list. Okay, I'm gonna reach out to these 5 people, whether it's a call or you send them a LinkedIn message, and you start building the people that you know value, right? Hopefully you have something in common. Also, go to networking events. Try to do that on a monthly basis, make that a habit, because sales is all about people relationships now and forever. So build your emotional intelligence skills. That means, be a good listener, know how to ask questions, know what people are interested in, and know when they're not interested in something. And that's my biggest thing.
There is a networking event, I think, next Monday at 4 p.m. I think there is transportation from Metro, so I highly invite you to go to that one. I think we have time for one more question. I think we have someone on Zoom that actually would like to ask a question. I think they raised their hand, so.
Yes, so I actually have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Celeste. Thank you so much for coming. I really like your presentation. I'm actually an accounting major myself, so it was great like hearing what you said. And as a conclusion of your presentation, what would you say is the advice you would give like to accounting majors and like business majors in general?
In terms of what, like to get a job or like?
Yeah, in terms of like getting jobs and internships.
Well, I would say accounting majors are definitely advantaged as that you're one of the top in finance, right? You're one of the top careers. I think that you will have the most opportunities in the business school. So continue, just continue to get good grades. Obviously, like make sure you're staying on top of your schoolwork. Continue to get involved in organizations on campus. Just like shine bright. Like make the most out of it. You only live once. Like just gain all the knowledge that you can get and be proactive. Know what you want. Don't wait until last minute to do things, right? Know where you want to be and then develop that plan backwards of like how to get there. And lastly, have fun. Have fun. Enjoy your college career too. Like make sure you have fun,
That's great. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right,
That's
guess
awesome.
that's all the time. Celeste, thank you so much for coming out. I don't want you to
Thank you.
Amazing. We'd like to take a picture, just feature you on our social media pages. I think we were throwbacks from Kevin. Mitch, can you take the phone?
Yeah, I can take the picture.
Yeah, I know, but take. Don't.
We'll be out of here in like 5 minutes.
Members, stay behind. We have some announcements to make for next week. People in person, please take these directions free. So take one.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, guys, take that.
Take one. Why not? In person, people, you should have came because.
I brought a bunch of goodies.
All right. Take a
Okay.
picture.
Do I say here or do I say over here?
If you want,
If you like to.
you like. Wow, this is the first time I actually showed up at all times.
Exactly. Ready?
All right, Mitchell, you gotta do.
Perfect.
All right, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Everyone,
Here, can you choose one of me? Here.
yes. Everyone, members, please stay behind. We have some quick announcements.